My 100-day project of 2023 started back in March. I'm almost at the halfway mark, so I thought I would share a little bit about my journey so far, tell you some lessons that I've learned, show you my top 3 favorite and my least favorite page, and do a flip through of my first sketchbook. Hi there, my name is Audrey and welcome to my studio. When I first announced this project, I thought it was going to be more loosey-goosey and more about painting intuitively. I wanted to be able to show up without any prompts or any preparation. And while it did start off that way, I slowly realized I'm not that type of person to show up completely unprepared. I actually got really anxious when I had to think of something on the spot, but I was also really anxious when I had something specific and then I had to deliver on what I had announced. So I'm at the point now where I'm going live, I'm showing up like half prepared, and I'm trying a new medium like gouache. And I think I found my happy place, where it's still challenging, but not to the point where I'm getting really anxious. Who knows what the rest of the 100 days will look like, but I'm really excited to find out. And I love that I'm learning more about myself as an artist. Jumping off of what I said earlier, one of the lessons that I learned is that I am a prepared improviser. What that means is that I need some context in which I'm working. And once I have it, I'm totally comfortable winging it. Another lesson that I learned is that mixed media is so much fun. And recently I've been using gouache and I've totally fallen in love. I still have a lot more to learn, especially with mixed media. So far, I've really only used watercolor pencils and water-soluble pastel crayons. Those pages weren't necessarily my favorites, but I do remember having fun. And since day 29, I've been painting with gouache. And I can't seem to stop. It's so similar to watercolor. I find it really easy to work with. And it's a challenge because the painting process is different. And I'm also learning to be okay with flat-looking paintings. Another lesson learned is that community is so important. Through my live streams, there were and are several people who have been showing up consistently. And I really appreciate all of those people and even those of you who are watching the replays. I think as I'm painting live, I'm learning that it's great to do it with others. Sometimes people think artists are loners and that you can only be creative if you're on your own. But I think we can inspire each other, and more than that, we can encourage each other. So being able to paint live was really scary at first because what if I mess up? What if I say something wrong? What if I start breaking down and crying? I don't know. But knowing that there have been several of you who have been with me since the very beginning, it really means a lot to me and it's motivating me to keep going. I want to share my top 3 favorite pages, and I also want to share one least favorite page. Let me preface this by saying that the least favorite page is not my least favorite because it's a bad painting. The whole point of a sketchbook is to play, experiment, learn, and grow. So with that said, my least favorite page is day 9. It's not a bad painting. I didn't mess up, but this was the painting where I realized that I was trying to be a different artist than who I really am. Let me give you some background information. So at the start of 2023, I came across a few watercolor artists whose floral styles I love. I really appreciate, I admire, I think it's beautiful. And they had that type of style that I always wanted to be good at. It was very loose, very intuitive. But the truth is, I wasn't meant to paint like that, as much as I love it. I tried their methods, I tried their techniques, I followed their tutorials, but all I felt was frustration and disappointment that I would never be able to paint like them. And I had to really think about it. While there are moments where you will feel like it's unattainable, sometimes you do have to push through that pain and keep trying. But for me, the struggle was a little bit different. I was starting to question my ability. I was starting to question who I am as an artist. And so because of that, I had to stop. I had to stop myself from trying to pursue that and try to be like them. So after this painting, I realized I had to say goodbye to that thought and go back to doing my own thing. And so I did. I went back to loose florals. I painted some Harry Potter inspired things. And eventually I found myself back to florals, and it opened the opportunity for me to try gouache. So this page, as lovely as it is on the surface level, it's a reminder to me that sometimes you have to go through the ugly to discover the beauty. And now for my top 3 favorite pages, and these were so hard to choose. I wish I could choose every single one of them, but I'll try to choose 3 pretty different ones. So day 12, Harry Potter inspired feathers and wands. I love Harry Potter. I grew up on Harry Potter. So being able to sketch and paint these pages was beyond exciting for me. It brought back so many good childhood memories, and I felt really confident in my skills. Day 24, alliums. This is probably the epitome of my loose floral style. I love painting like this. I love observing the flowers in real life or from a reference photo and just going with the flow. No sketch, no plan, just painting. And last but not least, day 35, hydrangeas. This page came after several days with gouache. I wanted to challenge myself with a more complex composition, and I feel like I pulled it off pretty well. I think this was the painting that made me feel like gouache could be the next big thing for me. And I'm so glad it happened. And finally, here's the complete flip through of my first sketchbook, featuring days 1 through 41. Enjoy! Thanks for watching this video and being part of my 100-day project. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment below with what your favorite page was from my 100-day project so far. Feel free to also leave suggestions of what else I can paint. If you've been a fan of my work or want to support my journey, please visit my Ko-fi page. I'll leave a link in the description box below. Make sure to join my live streams, check the community tab for the latest schedule. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.